You.
From the redwood forests to the Gulf Stream waters, these songwriters will sing for you and me. We live in a country that has a rich tradition of music, and the songs and the stories underneath our history and our shared visions and lives. And each one of our singer-songwriters is part of the beating heart of this American music, that tapestry of story and song that's been weaving us together for generations. And we're really happy to be here to share it with all of you who are watching today. So a while back, it seems like a long time now, if we wanted to see a show like this, we would have to get in a car or plane or bus or train or whatever and travel all over the country to different little venues everywhere and just visit them and find out who was making music there. And while that has its own charm and it's an adventure all in itself, how wonderful it is that technology is letting us bring together people from all corners of this country to perform all at the same time. And it's a wonderful opportunity to be able to hear the best of the best all at once. We want everyone out there in YouTube land, and thank you for being out there, to know that all of us here at Open Mic America enjoy spending time with each other as well as performing for you. So in addition to each performer's 1 or 2 songs, and tonight it will be 2 each, we're going to spend some time getting to know them. And we hope that you enjoy the whole experience as much as we all do. The lineup is on the website, openmicamerica.com, and it's also on the YouTube video in the details of the video. And we'll be here for a couple hours tonight, give or take. So I'd like to introduce myself. I am your MC tonight. TK, who is going to wave to you, is our sound engineer and switchboard person. And then we also have a brand new co-host who is also a performer on our show, by the way. And tonight she is going to be our interviewer, and that is Alice Osborne. Our friend Pete is on vacation. Laura will be back next time as an MC. And let's introduce the performers one at a time. They can just wave to us in order of performance. We have Steve Johnson from Portland, Oregon. We have Mike Simpson from Saratoga, California. We have Tim Myers from Santa Clara, California. We have Helen Friedman from Portland, Oregon. Larry Bach from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Sarah Glaser from Oakland, California. And we have Steve Anderson, the Eldersinger from Alameda, California. Melody Sunshine from Portland, Oregon. And Karen Hart from Los Angeles, California. There we go. All right. I think that it's time just to get on with the show. So our first performer is going to be Steve Johnson from Portland, Oregon. Take it away, Steve.
Howdy, hi there, everybody, friends and neighbors. Here we go. This is a song I call Benevolence. It's a perfect hideaway. Me and a baby played. We laid out on the sun-warmed sands. Natives strolled by while we held hands. We thought so far, they really don't know just who we are. We moved to higher ground to watch their sun go down. Other stars soon fill the sky. Baby tried beer and I tried wine, and we thought quietly, we'll keep this secret, just you and me. 'Cause if they find out, they'll fall like pouring rain, whisper into the native brain. Others will come with forks and knives, ready to skewer every native life. They'll suck up all the ocean to make a beauty potion. They'll grind up every beat to make a salve for the sensuality. The next day we're in the air and through the stratosphere. Baby set a course by different stars. No one will know just where we are. And I gave her the pearls. She wound them through her perfect curl.
Nice, dude.
Good one, Steve.
Here's a song written this year, Pandemonium. I can't remember if I did this before, but that's what I call it. Pandemic, Pandemonium, Pandora. Thank God that woman for opening up that box and letting everything out. Yahoo! Do we really know it's happening? Is our world about to fall? We can hope for something better. We can hope that's just about all. Be ready for rumbling, ready for tumbling time. Oh, keep the faith, baby, love and please be kind. We got caught up with the devil, oh, how he mystified, spreading degradation and always telling lies. We gotta keep it together, you know we gotta shout it out. Oh, keep the faith, baby, have mercy as we're being tumbled about. Will this year be any better? We can only wait and see. If we can tell the future, what better beings we'd be. Will this year be any better? We can only wait and see. If we could tell the future, oh, we'd save ourselves some misery. Are we ready for the lesson? We've been acting like some kind of fools. We think we're so high and mighty, but nature makes the rules. Don't mess with Mother Nature. No, no, we gotta realize. Just keep the faith, baby. Love and please be kind. Just keep the faith, baby. Love and please be kind.
I love the way you set that song up, besides the way you sang it and besides the song itself. That introduction was awesome.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I love the word pan. Remember old Pan.
So, Stephen, I've got a couple of questions for you.
Yes.
You seem to be a man of science and a man of the blues. How do you combine the two genres, science and the blues?
Oh, I like science fiction. I like science fiction movies, and a lot of times when I will write a song, I will see a little movie in my head or a little cartoon, and that's so sometimes it's science. Sometimes who knows what the movie is in my head.
Well, and both of your songs were very environmental, about being a better citizen for the world, and I totally appreciate that. And what is your current project right now?
Oh, my current project?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I just play guitar and sing. I'm in flux. I'm not sure what to do or where to go. It's just a time right now. I think it's part of the collective unconscious after COVID. There's a lot of activity going on. I'm not sure. I've been playing acoustic guitar for about 10 years, exclusively, and I put a electric guitar in the shop, and I don't know. I may come back and go back to playing some kind of new wave or punkish type music. I really like the hard rock. Who knows?
And I enjoyed your song so much, Stephen. And where do you have an open mic that you go to virtually?
Oh, I've been doing the Artichoke Zooms. This one I've done this here Zoom America. I did Gypsy Roadshow out of Vancouver, Washington, and that was about it. I actually go out, and during the whole year I've been playing with friends, either in yard shows or jams and stuff, parties, outdoors mostly for safety, and it's really worked. So that's what I like doing the best is just playing live.
Well, I'm glad that we were here, and thank you for being first. It's
Oh, well,
never
thanks.
easy. You just jumped right there. You just went right there. So you're a pro. You're a pro. It's nice
Yeah.
meeting you, Stephen.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. I second that, Alice. And before we go on, I forgot someone very important who is in this Zoom room with us. That is Capo Dave, who is our founder. So there he is, watching over us. Okay, I'm going to mute him again. And we are going to go to our second performer, who I could also call my friend, Mike Simpson from Saratoga, California. And Mike, if you want to tell us also what open mic or mics do you attend before you start playing, and then take it away.
Okay. Well, I will tell you. I go to about half a dozen, 7 different open mics at various levels of frequency, from Dun Cow in England and Hearing Room on the East Coast. But my main one is the South Bay Folks open mic, which is one that Daphne and TK and Sara and whoever I'm leaving out also attend.
And you.
I attend. Yeah. They put up with me playing and singing there. So, all right. So the first song, I had a dream, and in the dream everyone was speaking Spanish. And I couldn't understand what some of the people were saying in the dream. And I woke up, I was very annoyed because I speak Spanish reasonably well. And so I decided I needed to work on my Spanish. So I went out, and while I was having my oatmeal, I turned on a thing called a telenovela, which is like As the World Turns, but in Spanish. And there was a lovely Juliet and an even prettier Romeo on the screen, talking back and forth about how their relationship was a secret one and could not be anything other than secret. And they said one word over and over and over again, and Juliet's father came in and he used the word too. So this is called a tango inapropiado. I'm not sure what I can do, but try and be here for you. I am so careful to be safe, let no one know that I adore you. I know the anger and the pain that would be stirred if I were inappropriate. I have no doubt that I must carefully conceal what I am feeling. No lingering glances, no quick small touch, much too revealing. A certain doom would fall, wounding words be said. If I were inappropriate, it brings no joy to me. I think brings none to you. But we must live within our circumstances. We have no right to risk the damage we could do if we loved and danced our tango and took our chances. So here we are, denying what we feel together. We'll hold hearts back, keeping passion on a tether, and never show the abyssal depths of our affection. We long to be inappropriate. Oh, how we long to be inappropriate.
Wow.
Olé. Olé.
Woo. Now Mike is going to switch guitars to play his second song for us. And as always, I know that he makes sure it's all plugged in right and impeccably tuned.
We'll see about that. So yes, the guitars have moved from France to Virginia now. Let's see, make that a little smaller. All right. So this one here, I must admit my indebtedness to my good friend Carol McComb, who used the hook line of this song to describe what had happened in a song in a concert that started badly but ended well. Not impeccably tuned. It's 1:45, and I don't know what to do. Head on home or have myself one more beer. I grab my coat and out the door I float. When I get home, oh my God, you're here. It's a shock of my life. Once again I have a wife, unexpected, but as welcome as can be. And it's so undeserved, with the way my life has swerved. My darling, you've come back to me. When we started in the rail yard, not one connector was in place. Rattling and banging, not one knuckle in its trace. And I never counted on you being in my arms again. We went into the curves, a train wreck, but we come out a train. We struggled up the hills and downhill, lost the brake. Every car careening up against the next. But now we're highballing on a straight and narrow track, rolling sweet and smooth, not headed for a wreck. When we started in the rail yard, not one connector was in place. Rattling and banging, not one knuckle in its trace. And I never counted on you being in my arms again. We went into the curves, a train wreck, but we come out a train. We're both on board, traveling together, swift and fine, rolling smooth and tight. We reclaimed our love tonight with all our cars now rolling down the line. Oh, when we started in the rail yard, not one connector was in place. A rattling and banging, not one knuckle in its trace. And I never counted on you being in my arms again. We went into the curves, a train wreck, but we come out a train. We went into the curves, a train wreck, but we come out a train.
Oh my goodness. What a fantastic song, Mike.
I second that.
I third that.
Yeah. Mike, it's so great to see you back at Open Mic America. And I've got a few questions for you. So, are you still teaching, sir?
Do I still teach?
Yes.
I don't teach elementary school anymore, no, but I do teach. I have students of various ages that I teach guitar, voice, music theory, songwriting, that kind of stuff too.
How? So, when you teach your students, what is the one thing you want them to get out of your time together? What do you want them to take away?
Yeah, they all get lesson one, and lesson one, I say, is what you got to start with is intent. You have to know what you want to do, and then I'll help them get to actually doing what they want to do. Excuse me a moment, I have Bell's palsy in my eye weeps here. Yeah, That's number one with any human endeavor, pretty much. It's certainly deeply true in music.
Absolutely. So the last song about the train, I love the words that you chose, like connector and knuckle. It seems like you did heavy research or you love trains. Tell us more about that.
Well, I have a number of ancestral persons who were involved in the railroad industry, and so I've heard a lot of stories from them back when I was younger. For a brief time, I worked in a hobby store, and I ran the model train department there, so I guess that has something to do with it.
A lot to do with it, yeah. Well, wonderful. It's so wonderful to have you back. Do you have any projects that you'd like to tell the group about?
I had a little, both of these songs are from a little burst over about the past month or so, something like that. And I've got some more, and not all of them are even as slightly polished as those two were. I'm writing all over the place. I've got some funk tunes and some things that'll probably move on to octave mandolin from guitar and things like that. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, catching up with myself here.
Well, here's the next question, and final question. How many instruments do you play, Mike?
You mean, oh, not how many do I have, but how many different things can I play?
Yeah, you play octave mandolin and guitar, obviously.
Mandolin, guitar, octave mandolin is pretty much the same as mandolin, banjo. I can hack around on a keyboard. I can play drums, play bass, sing harmony, sing lead. Lap guitars that are played with a slide. Play a couple different kinds of those. I guess that's about it.
You play flute?
I play 6-hole folk flute.
Excellent.
Where the embouchure is a bare hole embouchure, yeah. And tin whistle and stuff like that too. Yeah.
Very impressive. Thank you so much, Mike. It was a pleasure to have you back.
Hey, it's always good to be here at Open Mic America. I love this thing. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Daphne. Thanks,
Thank
TK.
you, Mike. We're glad you came back with your two awesome new songs. People like me are jealous of your little burst, but we're glad that you're sharing your little burst of songs with us. So there.
Years will come, Daphne. Years will come.
Yeah, well, I can enjoy this. So speaking of enjoying, next we are going to enjoy someone who I've enjoyed here before, and that is Tim J. Myers from Santa Clara, California. Tim, before you start, tell us where you play at open mics, if you do.
I really appreciate that invitation, because as I'm watching Dave, not for the first time, I'm getting blown away. I go to South Bay Folks whenever I can, but I haven't been able to go that often. That's the first place I saw Mike Simpson, and he's been, whether he knows it or not, he's been a model for me ever since. And first of all, a guy who has to sit back and think about how many instruments he plays, and then he forgets some, and Alice has to remind him of some other ones he plays. This is a man who's really dedicated to craft. And Mike, I love the song. The tango, so evocative, just blew me away. But my main hangout, and again, I wish I could do this more too, but it's WCS, West Coast Songwriters. And so I get to that. I get to that regularly.
Take it away. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks to everyone for this. This whole, your point, Daphne, before about technology, actually, I mean, everybody is sick to death of Zoom, but the fact that it allows us to do this is just, it's such a blessing. And it's because all of you, TK and Capo Dave and you and Alice, are doing all this stuff. There's a saying, I've actually tried to look this up because I think it was originally a quote, but it's kind of become a saying, which is be kind. You never know what battles some people are fighting. And this song is kind of about that. So I call this Learning by Heart. Oops, let me start that again. Been together 6 months now, and you're wondering who I am, what my stony silences don't tell. And that time I lost my temper, well, baby, I understand. So let's just say my mama taught me well. She rarely said good morning, barely said good night. Went to work, came home, and watched TV. And sometimes she went off so hard, I never knew just why. But those were the times she noticed me. Seemed she wanted to teach me how to give up, 'cause she felt torn apart. So she taught with anger and silence, and I learned it all by heart. Daddy left, didn't give a damn, or he felt some secret shame. Maybe he was just an evil cuss. But it hardly matters why, 'cause she lost what little hope she had. Was all she could do to provide for us. Seems she wanted to teach me how to give up, how to slip into the dark. Taught me anger and silence, and I learned it all by heart. So I'm fighting with my shadow, trying to believe the love that's shining in your eyes is real. But even if I've learned that up here in my head, it's a harder thing to feel. But what I'd hate more than all the rest is if we doused the spark. If you and I made the same mistakes and then just fell apart. So I'm standing here and I'm listening, ready to make a start. Maybe we could live by the book of love and learn that book by heart. Learn it all by heart. Learn it all by heart. Learn to live by heart.
Oh my.
All right, Tim.
Yeah,
Nice.
beautiful.
Thank you very much. This next song, sometimes I feel like somebody said to me once that we were talking about songs they're writing, and I said, "Oh, I'm writing this song about somebody's falling in love for the first time." He said, "That's good. Audiences like that. They like that fall." And I was like, I don't want to be the kind of songwriter who does focus group topics, like this is going to be popular, or whatever. So I had to laugh at myself because this song is called Drought, and when I wrote it, we were in that last drought. And part of me actually thought, and I feel so stupid and embarrassed, I was like, well, we went out of the drought. I wonder this song will have less appeal. And then look what happened. Now we're in this horrible freaking drought. Did I bring that down on all of us? I hope that's not the case. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say about that. Walk back from my fence line, shouldering my gun. Left 3 men dead beneath the sun. They were probably after cattle. I caught them at my well. No time for talk, they were ne'er-do-wells. She came that night off the desert flats. I should have thought about that. But how we thirst in these dry years. A lonely bird of passage, she needed someone's care. Set me on fire, just standing there. I took her in and welcomed. I was tired of being alone. She smiled to know she'd found a home. When moonrise came, she stood there at my bed. I understood, raised my head. For we all thirst in these dry years. But she said, we came here seeking field work. Back home now nothing grows. But our canteens ran dry 3 days ago. We only wanted water. They went to scout around. Now my brothers lie dead. You shot them down. I never saw her dagger, only felt the thrust. Then blind, tearing pain and the smell of dust. Last thing I knew was the bitter taste of all I myself laid to waste. To slake my thirst in these dry years. Thank you.
Yeah.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. Those songs were a lot to wrap my head around. Amazing.
Thank you. I love to go from an improving relationship to sex and murder. I think that's just like a natural transition. Thank you, Daphne.
Tim, I just friended you on Facebook, and we have 3 mutual friends.
Excellent. Alice, holy cow, we're running in the same circles.
We did.
That's terrific. That is
Yeah, you know Frank Morelli from Greensboro, and Rebecca Baggett. Those are all, and I mean, it's
ringing
just,
bells. Yeah, excellent.
Louise
I'm glad.
Hall.
Thank
Yeah.
you for friending me. That's wonderful.
So I much admiration for all the books and projects that you're doing. You are definitely a writer. I mean, I only heard the 2 songs, but I was like, okay,
Thank you.
Lots of depth. And I don't know if the first song was autobiographical. And I never assume, because I hate when people assume just because you're writing in the I, or speaking in the I, it's that. But from your bio, we know that you're the eldest of 11 children. So I naturally went there. But are there pieces of yourself in that song? There's probably pieces of you in both songs, but
Well, no, that's actually, I think that's such a great point, Alice. And for, you know, I started life as a poet, and I became a songwriter soon after. But for me, that the lyrics are always as important. And again, a lot of people don't pay that much attention to them, which is fine. People get to like what they like. But so that's a big deal for me. I'm happy to say that neither of them is directly autobiographical at all. I've never killed anyone. And in fact, my mom is funny, because I thought about that for a moment. Because people do sometimes confuse the I as the persona from the I, the songwriter, which is, it's easy enough to make that mistake. But I thought my wonderful mom, who took such good care of me, here I've got this song about this terrible mother, who is, by the way, obviously depressed. But it is funny, though, like you say, the parts of yourself, I think most artists will say that parts of themselves leak into everything they do in one form or another. Sometimes those things are visible to other observers, sometimes they're not, but they're certainly there. And I do write things that are very directly autobiographical too. So that's always a really interesting question to me, as to how you approach that. But I find it, and this is why I appreciate your point so much, Alice, I find it so liberating to be able to write in a song as a character. And again, there's often confusion. Songs are so short. It's not like a novel. It's not like you're writing fiction where it's accepted. But that's a great liberation to be able to say things and explore things.
exactly. And you grew up in
By the way,
Colorado.
pardon me for interrupting, but I should say, because I just met Alice, and through the chat here, and she's a writer too. So when I'm talking to her, I'm talking to her writer to writer, because she knows exactly what I'm going on about here at this end. Yeah. Sorry.
Right on. Yeah. And I'm a poet, and I transitioned from poetry to song. It was
See that? I love that. Wow. No wonder. It's a good thing we're together on Facebook. Yeah.
yeah, and then I'm going from song to poetry. It's really cool. You grew up in Colorado, and I'm going with my husband to Crested Butte. Of course, that's on the other side of the Rockies from where you grew up. Do you find the Colorado experience coming into your songs at all?
It absolutely does. I'm one of these people who has like a million projects planned. And one that I've had planned for a long time, and I've written a lot of songs for it, would be an album tentatively titled Rocky Mountain Music. When I was growing up, it was country and western music.
Uh-huh.
And then it started being called country music, which is fine. I mean, I'm not fighting for the title, but there is a branch of country music that is more western. And so I'd love to write some things about that. I've written some, and I'd love to do something about that someday. Colorado's an amazing place, and I love it with all my heart. I'm not crazy about where some of the politics are going right now, but that's a whole nother issue, so I won't go into
It's
that.
a whole other workshop.
Yes.
I love that, and it's a work. That would be a whole genre, and I would love for you to explore that in your next project. It was so nice to meet you, Tim, and look forward to getting to know you better on social media and all that cool stuff. All
That
right,
sounds
back to
great,
you,
Alice.
Daphne.
Thank you. And
Wow.
Thank you. Great.
That was so wonderful to hear. What great questions, and to see that you two, can find those connections right here on this show. That's awesome. Thank you, Tim. And now we're going to go to Portland to hear from our friend Helen Friedman. Helen, do you go to open mics? And if so, which ones do you attend?
Hold on, I have a square in the middle here.
What does your square say?
It's gone.
Good.
Yeah, I've been a regular at Artichoke Music for many years. I also go to the Songwriters Soiree here in Portland. I've also gone to the Laurel Thirst open mic, and but I guess Artichoke has been my main open mic.
Well, I'm glad you're here tonight. Now take it away. You've got the stage.
Okay, I guess this is my pandemic song. I wrote this to kind of remind myself that, there are still some good things in life. I guess I call this one Sweet Refrain. I can feel the warm sunshine through my window pane. and the morning birds sing their songs. I hear the whistle of the train. Life goes on, even on the hardest days, like a sad old song with a sweet refrain that comes around again. It comes around again. And the world we knew before is in a state of disarray. Though I'm curled up next to you, my thoughts are far away. But my love goes on, even on the hardest days. And I'll sing you a song with a sweet refrain that comes around again. It comes around again. There are so many questions we might not have the answers to, but the light still dances round the room, and I'm still here with you. And life goes on, even on the hardest days, and we'll write a new song with a sweet refrain that comes around again. It comes around again. It comes around again. It comes around again.
Sweet, beautiful boys.
That was lovely.
So, make sure I'm in tune here. It's probably good enough. So this next song is a song I wrote for my mom. She passed away several years ago, and she has a birthday coming up pretty soon. And I was looking at an old photo of her, like probably maybe from her high school or college days, and just thinking about her life before I came along and how little I know about it. And so this is a song I wrote for my mom. It's called The Photo. Smiling, flowers pinned to your dress. Were you posing for someone you hoped to impress? Sepia tones, the color comes through, sitting there And I never knew that girl with the light on her face. Back when the world was a different place, a different place. Before your heart was broken and all your doors were open and you still had hope in the world. Were you dreaming of your day in the sun, out on the parkway, laughing with everyone? A hot New York summer, in the prime of your life, you talked of future plans, but you gave them up to be the wife of a kind and gentle man. And I never knew that girl with the light on her face. Back when the world was a different place, a different place. And my heart's been broken, but it's still open, and I still have hope in the world. You were smiling, flowers pinned to your dress.
Yeah,
Lovely, Helen.
That was nice.
very, very lovely.
Lovely, Helen.
What a great idea for a lyric.
Thank you. What a beautiful voice you have, so pure.
Oh, thank you.
That got me, Helen. You made me weepy. Thank you so much.
Oh gosh. You're welcome, I guess.
Sure. You have you're using ekphrastic art, so taking a piece of art and moving it into another piece of art. I've done that with taking a painting and moving it into a poem, or taking a painting and moving it into a song. And you did that tonight, or you did that and you performed your ekphrastic tonight. Do you have other examples of song where you've taken a photograph and gained inspiration from it to make it a song?
Maybe. I think that's the only one that I can really think of. I mean, certainly I'm sentimental, and a lot of my songs come from memories of past relationships or times in my life, and so yeah, I probably have other songs that come from, looking at something or reading something, just remembering something. Yeah.
And how has the Portland music community helped you grow as an artist?
Well, I just love connecting with other musicians, and I've grown as an artist just by listening to other people and their stories, their songs, going to open mics, going to shows, just talking to people about their own experience. Yeah, just immersing myself in the music scene here, I think has helped me grow immensely, for sure.
Well, thank you for letting me know more about Artichoke Cafe. I didn't know about it. I know about Pal's books. Everyone, who writes knows or who knows about Pal's books, but I didn't know about the Artichoke Cafe as a nonprofit store and live music venue, and also a place where folks can learn music as well.
Yeah, Artichoke is a great venue, a great resource. Been a big part of the community for a long time.
Well, I appreciate learning everything about Portland. I was in Portland back in '04, and my husband said, "Look, it's a town full of Alices." And I said, "Yeah, I know."
Alice, you got to write a song about that.
Yeah, but we live in Raleigh, so yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know. I've always wanted to come back to Portland, and it's cool that three of you are from the Portland area here tonight, and that's pretty amazing. What is your next project, Helen? What are you working on right now?
I'm working on feeling less stressed about
Good.
about the world right now, about the pandemic. I'm trying to venture out a little bit more. I actually went to an in-person open mic for the first time about a week ago, out in a park, so it was outside. I would like to put out a new recording. I have an older one. I have a bunch of new songs, including the two that I just played. I'd like to put out some more music, just to keep writing and singing and connecting with other musicians, and take it from there.
Well, thank you so much, Helen, because the world needs your music and
Oh,
your voice.
well.
Please keep rocking the stage.
Well, thanks so much.
Welcome.
Thanks so much.
Yes, thank you, Helen. That was just a pleasure to listen to, and a lot to think about there too. And next we have, I think, a neighbor or cohort of Alice Osborne. We have Larry Bach from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Is that correct? Did I get that right? I just
That's
remember
right.
that. Oh, okay.
Yep, you got it.
Yes, well, thank you for being here, Larry. And just before you take it away, tell us where you play.
So I guess the main plug I would make is for the North Carolina Songwriters Co-op, where Alice serves as president, and where we have a twice monthly song circle on Monday evenings, and people from all over the state and beyond get together and share their new work and get feedback. And it's been a wonderful thing virtually all through the pandemic, and but I hope we're getting back to doing it in person soon, because I miss it.
Yes, me too. Thank you for that. And now you have the stage. Play
All
for
right.
us.
I'm going to play two songs on this guitar. The reason they're together in a set is because they're both in open D, and I don't have to mess around. This first one was written last fall after I did some canvassing and met an interesting man named Charlie. I thought he had some interesting thoughts that were worth putting in rhyme and meter and turning into a song. Charlie's home is on a hill out near the county line. A red brick ranch, an old screen door, it's like 1969. And the driveway's long and winding, the air is thick and still. Charlie's home is on the hill. And Charlie's home this afternoon. Charlie likes to talk. Charlie's glad someone's come to his screen door and knocked to ask him if he's voting and if he'd care to say for who. Charlie's home this afternoon. Charlie's cat will tell you he's a veteran. from his age, I'm guessing Vietnam. Charlie says, living in the country, I own a licensed gun, and I'm a proud American, and I'm gonna vote on Tuesday, where my grandkids learn and play. I won't need the firearm, gonna leave it in the safe. Got people making threats to scare folks who look like me. I'm gonna cast my ballot standing tall, proud and free. You wanna say this ain't my home, it's the color of my skin. My ballot's how I win. I thank him for his time, put his answers in my phone.
Children of the
Down the
want to
highway,
live.
back to that country road. It's all I know of Charlie, somehow I feel less alone. Grateful for my time at Charlie's home. Charlie's home.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Oh gosh, that gave me goosebumps, Larry.
Great.
Thanks for letting us meet Charlie, Larry.
Yeah.
Great song.
He was an interesting guy. He told it more colorfully, but I tried to be really true to the spirit of what he said. He was just bound and determined to walk in with that ballot. And why do they need a gun to protect me to be protected from my piece of paper? Was basically his point. And it was a good one. Yep.
Yeah.
So this next tune is a bit of fan fiction from the Springsteen musical universe, and think of it as a prequel to one of his greatest songs. So I'm a scared little girl, that might be true. Well, here's some things I could say about you. Another boy with a car who can play the guitar, got a head full of dreams to be a rock and roll star. You wanna drive through the night and give it our best, see if we're cursed and see how we're blessed. I'm thinking it over in my bedroom mirror. I'm alone with my face, and I'm facing fear. I see your car in the driveway, so I come down the stairs, and Dad's watching TV in his easy chair. He looks up from the set as I reach for the door, says, Mary, you know you were meant for more. He's just another boy with a 442. He'll say anything just to get with you. Don't you give it up for the promises he'll make and break. Oh, Mary, send him away. But I got dreams just the same as you. The open road, we share the driving, trading songs, I feel alive, I'm running too. Should I run with you? So I open the door and get ahead of the night. Take a look at your face in the streetlights. Roy Orbison singing as I make up my mind to trade wings for wheels and leave this town behind. I'm gonna drive through the night and give my best. There's a promised land on the other side of the wilderness. I cross the porch, head full of plans. Wind catches my dress, and the screen door slams.
Nice control of that New Yorker there, Larry.
Love that slack tuning.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciated all the Springsteen references in there.
Yep.
So Larry, tell me what it is to write about people that are not your lived experience. We've heard a lot about the cultural appropriation movement and folks telling writers saying, hey, you can't write about that because you're not fat and you're skinny, or you're not black, you're white, you know, that kind of thing. You're a man, you're a woman. What do you tell that? I mean, to me as a writer, you don't have to write what you know, you go into your imagination.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about writing Mary, I mean, first of all, she's a character already in literature, right? If we want to call Thunder Road literature, and she's there, and she shows up on the porch at the end of the song. So I thought as a fun experiment and an opportunity to kind of step inside of the house, you know, get to the other side of the screen door, what was going on, and when I'm going to write a song like that, that's from another perspective, you know, what Tim just referred to as character songs. I think that's the right description of them. I think about something that our mutual friend Chet Nichols said one night at one of our gatherings before COVID, when we were all in person, and someone was working out a song and was thinking about whether to write it second person or first person, and it wasn't something out of their own lived experience. It would be writing from the perspective of another race. And Chet said, you know what? John Prine isn't an old woman, but he sure knows how to write one. And I was like, yeah, you're right, man. And he said it takes empathy, and I'm gonna clean it up for YouTube. He said it takes empathy and nerve. He said something else. You know, you gotta commit, and you gotta be willing to step in there. And then it's imagination from that point. And you know, you're not pretending to be something you're not. You're trying to just imagine something into being. And I think it's one of the most fun ways to write. And it's also when I cover songs, the songs I like to cover the most are character songs. It's just fun to step into another voice like that.
Yeah. I feel the same way, Larry. I mean, I wrote songs all about the Donner Party, and mostly women and one man. And I love stepping into the lives, and I get emotional because I really feel like I'm bringing them to life and it's their voice. But I did that when I wrote more poetry. I would just take folks from literature or music or anything and step in. I think I had the most fun with Captain Bligh because he's so proper, and then in his head he's thinking all these horrible things, and he's so proper out there. So I had the most fun with that because I'm not. I didn't curse a lot into my poems, but I had to do a lot of cursing because he's an English sailor. So that was, and that's not, well, maybe it is me now, but it wasn't me back 5 years ago. So I thought that was wonderful. What are your current projects, Larry?
Getting a set together for the Carrboro Music Festival next month.
Right on.
And just continuing to try to do some writing, as when it comes to me. I've been a little fallow the last 6-8 weeks, but I always trust there's another one coming. If I'm not feeling it right now, there'll be something in next week or in a month or whenever it needs to emerge. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Larry. It's great to have you back at Open Mic America. The last time you were on the show with me and along with Larry Hicks on May 16th, just a couple of months ago. So it's great that we can be together again and I can ask you some questions.
Indeed. Thanks for doing this.
All right. Thank you so much. Back to you, Daphne.
Yeah, thank you, Larry. I just wanted to say you got me thinking with your answer about writing from someone else's perspective. That's a good thing for all of us to practice, whether we're writers or not, is imagining the world as it might look when we're standing in someone else's shoes. So it's a valuable thing, and thank you for that.
Sure thing. Thanks.
And now we're going to go to Oakland to hear from Sara Glaser. I can call my friend Sara. I know you, Sara. Sara, before you start singing, where do you like to play?
Well, I've been participating in Micarona, which I understand is a combination of South Bay folks and the Hub, neither of which I've attended in real life. But I'm really enjoying it. It's a great group. And I'm also a big part of the Mud Puddle Shop crowd, which is this little teeny tiny venue in Niles, which is in Fremont, California. And it's kind of has a virtual life. So I participate in Mud Puddle.
That's Mike McNevin, right?
That's right. Michael McNevin, a very fine singer-songwriter.
Wonderful. Well, so now I'm going to mute myself and let's hear you play.
All right. And sorry about my lighting situation. I'm doing the best I can here. So these are two character-driven songs. Neither are me, especially the first. And this was inspired by a fireman that I spotted in the town of Niles near the Mud Puddle Shop. He was very handsome. Fireman Jim, gonna get a box of matches so I can see him. Gonna get a jug of diesel, I can play his game. He'll come flying like a moth to a flame. I'm tired of waiting for Jim to strike. I'll turn my house to ash if that's what he likes. I'm burning, Jimmy. I'm a red hot coal. Don't spurn me, Jim. Slide down the pole. Hop on your truck, make the engines roar. Pull on the hose, break down my door. Lift me into your arms. The heat won't wait. Lay me down on the lawn. Resuscitate. Fireman Jim, gonna get a box of matches so I can see him. Gonna get a jug of diesel, I can play that game. He'll come flying like a moth to a flame. I'm a siren, Jimmy, I know what I am. Forget the wife, she don't know how to fan the flames of love to a raging inferno. All you got at home is a can of Sterno. Fireman Jim, gonna get a box of matches so I can see him. Gonna get a jug of diesel, I can play his game. He'll come flying like a moth to a flame. And when it's all over, the blaze and the flood, and there's nothing left but a pile of wet wood, like Adam and Eve in God's creation, we'll live in the garden with your Dalmatian. Fireman Jim, gonna get a box of matches so I can see him. Gonna get a jug of diesel, I can play his game. He'll come flying like a moth to a flame. Like a moth to a flame.
My favorite rhyme with Dalmatian.
What a great change of mood.
Yeah, I'm so relieved that no one else has done an arsonist song.
Yeah.
So Let's see. This song is basically about someone who's tired of their job. Nashville's got a stash full of guys like me. Hank and Johnny wannabes, hawking their melodies, shaking every Tennessee tree for the fruits of fame, trying to sound old with something new. Rockabilly, cowpunk, bluegrass, yeah. Country music's just 3 chords and the truth. I came here in my 20s, a heart embroidered on my sleeve. And everything I was writing, I believed, I truly believed. I cut my teeth here, but this town can be ruthless 30 years later, and I'm toothless. Mousetrap cheese, corn mush, lots of syrup, cotton candy lyrics, 3 chords and a lie gets me by. Verse 1, tease 'em with a mystery. Verse 2, reveal a little history. Then sucker punch 'em with the right hook. Check their faces, see how it took. If that bit don't turn a profit, go straight to the bridge and toss 'em off it. It's mousetrap cheese, corn mush, lots of syrup, cotton candy lyrics, 3 chords and a lie gets me by. Stepford groupies see me by the back of the stage. They treat me like I'm some kind of sage, 'cause I get 3,000 freaking plays a minute. I write a bunch of crap and I'm rolling in it. Mousetrap cheese. They say, do a songwriter a favor, treat him bad. But I'm well healed and whatever wounds I had, I stripped those minds a long time ago. All I trade in now is fool's gold. 3 chords and a lie, and it's getting old. I give 'em mousetrap cheese, corn mush drowned in syrup, smooth as Velveeta lyrics, 3 chords and a lie gets me by. 3 chords and a lie.
Oh, how
Hey.
Oh, Sarah, I've heard both these songs before, and I'm really glad that you decided to play them again
Thank
here
you.
on Open Mic America. Yeah.
So, Sarah, what is world mountain music?
Oh, okay. You did do your research. I don't know how you found that. I was in a band 20 years ago called the Haynes Family, and we used to play at the Freight and Salvage in Berkeley, and they didn't know how to categorize us, so the manager made up a genre for us, world mountain music, because we did old timey stuff, we did Yiddish stuff, we did Velvet Underground, we had a Bulgarian song, we were really all over the place.
And what instruments did you mainly use?
It was old timey instrumentation. I only sang in that band. Occasionally, I'd play guitar and auto harp.
Mm-hmm.
We did a Dolly Parton song, and it just had to have auto harp.
Of course.
But yeah, it was like, mandolin, guitar, stand-up bass.
All the bluegrass instruments.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And a banjo?
No, occasionally we did have Michael Stadler played with us for a while with the banjo, but it wasn't one of our regular instruments.
Yes, yes. And how would you categorize your genre now, Sara, as a solo artist?
That's a good question. I just kind of write whatever I feel like writing, but I would say it's probably either folk rock or not even the word rock doesn't sound right. Kind of some of my stuff is country. Some has almost a little bit of a jazzy feel to it. I'm all over the place, but probably folk would be the best label.
Right on, right on. And your observation skills are impeccable as a writer and observing the world around you and turning that into song. You did that tonight. You showed us that skill tonight. Are there other songs where you've taken your observation and moved those into songs?
Yeah, I haven't thought about it like that, but I like kind of embodying a character, and sometimes it feels a little disingenuous because it's not me, but it's so much fun. I don't really care. So I have a song about a girl singer in the 1940s in Appalachia called Meet Me at the Chinkapin Tree, where I'm just kind of imagining, a story around her. And I do have some songs that are kind of straight from my heart as well, but I would say, at least half are story songs.
That's really, I mean, you're a woman after my heart. That's what I do. I love taking stories, but you're very specific. I mean, a girl singer from the 1940s in Appalachia. I mean, that's, do you play other instruments?
Only in my imagination. In my imagination, I'm a really good banjo player.
Okay.
If I had a next instrument, it would be banjo. I grew up playing flute, so I can play recorder. I play penny whistle. But mostly I just want to be a better and better guitar player, so I kind of try not to diversify too much.
Do you like rhythm or melody?
I don't know what that means, actually. Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you like picking out the melodies, or do you like to find the rhythm, or are you a combo of both on guitar?
You wouldn't know it from today, but I'm really a finger picker. When I perform and know I'll be a little nervous, I avoid finger picking, but my primary interest and most of my songs are finger picking songs.
So a combo of both. That's beautiful. And we, Daphne, you asked Sara about the open mics right at the beginning of our. Okay, cool. We got that covered. All right, Sara, thank you so much for sharing.
And I do have a little project, because I know you're asking people about projects, which
Please
is
go,
I'm doing my very first solo album of all original songs, and I'm hoping it'll be out in the late fall, and I'm very excited about that.
Have you already started the scratch demo recordings with your producer?
Yes, definitely, and it's coming together. It's about 2/3 done, maybe.
And were the songs that you created, were they all done in the pandemic, or were they maybe shifted from earlier times?
One of them goes back to 2004, I think. So some of them are earlier, but most of them are the last several years. And I have 3 fire-related songs inspired by, including Fireman Jim.
Okay.
Count that.
Are you going to put them all together? Are you going to stack them together on the album?
I don't know.
Anyway. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. Rock
Thank
it.
you, Alice.
Yay, Sarah. Good to see you again and hear those two songs. And now we're going to go to Alameda, California, where we're going to hear from Steve Anderson, the Eldersinger. Steve, do you play open mics in Alameda? There used to be one. I think I went to one once or twice.
Well, the traditional one has been the Fireside Lounge, which is it's a tough room because the stage is kind of in the back, and then there's a wall that separates the rest of the bar, and the people in the rest of the bar aren't there for the music, and they get rowdy and they drown us out, and so it's not the best place for an open mic for someone who's terribly sensitive like me. But there are other places now. There's a place called The Local, which I hope will be coming back. It's more of a coffee house. And recently, the Alameda Comedy Club has decided that they should have a music night. And I played there for the first time last Wednesday, and it was marvelous. It was just an absolutely beautiful room to play in. The lighting, the sound, the service, the people, the whole deal was just great.
Did you play a funny song at the comedy club? No.
Well, actually, I don't remember what I played.
That's okay.
I'm old.
Right, the Eldersinger. Take it away, Mr. Eldersinger.
So my goal in music is to be more of a folk singer than a performer. In the tradition of the Pete Seegers and the Joan Baez's and the Bob Dylans and all these things that are trying to be relevant and hopefully in some small way make a difference. So when I get in my car and I drive around and I see homeless people on the streets all over the place, and I hear other people disparaging them as being a bunch of losers, and they have no idea what those people went through. Why they got there, and so I wrote this about that. For some life is a gift, for others it's a sentence. It may be filled with joy, or it may be endless penance. We like to think that the choice is ours, that we control our fate, that we can solve all our problems, and that it never is too late. Everyone believes whatever they believe, and everyone contributes to that tangled web we weave. Now belief's a funny thing, it doesn't always serve us well. We like to think that it'll guide us, but it's sometimes hard to tell. Human nature doesn't always match the way we ought to think, and doing whatever you want to can land you in the clink. Everyone believes whatever they believe, and everyone contributes to that tangled web we weave. Now the changes in our lives sometimes wreck what we intend. Unexpected circumstances, hard to comprehend, may lay waste to the hopes and the dreams and the plans that we have made, and leave us cold and destitute and very much afraid. Everyone believes whatever they believe, and everyone contributes to that tangled web we weave. Still we're convinced that destiny will never treat us thus. The crushing blows that conquered others will not get to us. It's our inner strength and character renders us immune. But those starving people out on the street once sang that very tune. And everyone believes whatever they believe. Everyone gets tangled in that tangled web we weave. To judge how people's character accounts for where they are, it's really very arrogant and frankly quite bizarre. 'Cause all of the things that put them there, you've never had to face. And it's only by the grace of God that you're not in their place. And everyone believes whatever they believe, but nothing will ever save them from that tangled web that we weave.
Oh. Yes. Ain't that the truth? Yes.
So I'm a big fan of Greta Thunberg. I grew up with a bunch of Scandinavians, relatives, and neighbors, and they have a way of being very direct. And then, some people would think of it as brutal honesty, but it was just their nature. They would speak their minds, not to hurt anyone's feelings, just to voice their opinions. A Norwegian mother might say to her daughter, that zit on the end of your nose is getting really gross. And it wouldn't be to hurt her feelings, and her feelings wouldn't be hurt. That's how they communicated. And Greta gets up in front of the world leaders and essentially tells them that the zits on the ends of their noses are getting really gross. And I just admire that courage so much from a kid. So anyway, this is a tribute to Greta Thunberg, and it's a recent write. So I'm hoping I get through it without having to refer to my notes. And if there's just a little pause here, just chalk it up to senior moments. I'm old. The children of the earth want to live. They're not asking too much for us to give. It's a challenge we're all obliged to face, 'cause we leave it up to them to preserve the human race. We can see the ocean levels getting higher. Drastic measures are what we now require. Technology's invited so much waste without a care. Every man and nation needs to join in the repair. So let's do it for the children. Do it to save them from despair. Do it for the children. Do it to show them that we care. Children need to live in the land where they were born. None of them deserve a planet wasted and forlorn. They deserve a better life than the one that we've prepared. It's on us to give them lives to enjoy without being scared. So we better do it for the children. Do it, save them from despair. Do it for the children. Do it to show them that we care. We've polluted with impunity to serve a selfish goal. The climate we've depended on is way out of control. Change won't be easy, we're already way behind, but we've got to give our all if we care about mankind. So we gotta do it for the children. Do it, save them from despair. Do it for the children. Do it to show them that we care. Do it to show them how we care. Do it to show them that we care.
Singer would approve.
Oh, you are a folk singer.
Well, thank
All the
you.
way to the core, all the way. Wow.
Steve, I totally admire and am jealous of your 12-string instrument. Can you tell us a little bit about that beauty?
I bought this in, well, the whole story is that I learned to play guitar in the Navy in the early 1960s, and some guy showed up in a coffee house called Circe's Cup in San Diego with a 12-string guitar. His name was Mason Williams, and the sound of that 12-string guitar just blew my socks off. So anyway, I got into it. I bought this instrument in 1963 and played it quite seriously for about 5 years, and then not so much after that. And by the 90s, not at all. It was in the case. I didn't touch it. I got it out in 2018, and it was almost still in tune. That was kind of amazing. And I started to play it again, and I immediately realized that if I was going to get anywhere with it, I needed to start writing songs. So that's what I did. So I've been doing it for almost 3 years now. And I like it. It's it's built by Gibson under the Epiphone name in Kalamazoo. They bought the company, and for a very short period of time, the Epiphone name was supposed to be the top of their line, but they abandoned that and started using Japan as a source for Epiphones, and the ones that came out after this one were quite different. But yeah, it's a part of me.
So how long you been writing songs for 3 years or longer?
Oh no, just a little less than 3 years actually.
Amazing.
Very late. It's like November, December of 1918 when I started.
Wow.
That is so amazing. Were you, do you read a lot, or are you a poet? I mean, it's for writing down stuff?
My life is basically chaotic.
Okay.
In around 2000, I started writing poetry, and that lasted for about a year. And I wrote a bunch of poems, and I kind of like them. Every once in a while, I get them out, and I think, oh, that was nice. But then I didn't do that anymore. I've gone through 8 or 9 totally unrelated careers. I have ADHD, so whatever I do, I lose interest in and quit doing it. But I think I might stick with this. I'm enjoying this a lot.
Well, you are an amazing person, and thank you for sharing your gifts tonight with us, Steve Anderson. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Love your stuff.
I want to get in a plug before you all go away. I do have a vanity page on Facebook. It's called Songs of the Eldersinger, and Eldersinger is one word, but the rest of it are separate words. So there's 4 words, spaces in between. So if you Google Songs of the Eldersinger, it's not Googling, it's Facebooking. I'm confused. Anyway, if you don't hate what I did tonight, you might find some other things there not to hate. So thank you so much.
I'm going to it right after the show, Steve. There you go.
Thank you.
Back to
Thank
Catherine.
you. Thank you. Thanks, Alice. We only have two more performers tonight. My, how the time flies. We have Melody Sunshine from Portland, Oregon. I love your name. Where do you play, Melody?
I played online with a songwriters soiree. I think it was in April. And other than that, I play on my front porch with some other musicians that come. We started that during the pandemic. I play around campfires, but I didn't know about, I just heard tonight about Artichoke. I didn't know about that. But I can't say I've actively went out to seek out open mics, because I do play a lot with other musicians, just, in my life, just not really on stage very often.
And you've been here before.
Yes, I've been here
Yes.
in May. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, welcome back, and you can take it away.
Thank you. This first song is a song that I wrote when it was, it's been over a decade, but it was one of those times where I've learned that words are easy. Words don't always mean anything, but you got to back them up. So it's called No More Waiting. I've been warned, and I've been told to play the odds, not to fold. Oh, why do I feel like the one to sacrifice all the fun? Oh, I'm sick and tired of waiting, wasting all my days, a prisoner in the fortress, lost within the maze. Oh, I'll pay the price with credit, 'cause it seems it's all I've got. Cashing in one last time, gonna give it one last shot. Only time will reveal what is false, what is real. So much to lose, so much to gain, but in the end, it's all the same. Oh, I'm sick and tired of waiting, wasting all my days, a prisoner in the fortress, lost within the maze. Oh, I'll pay the price with credit, 'cause it seems it's all I've got. Cashing in one last time, gonna give it one last shot. Give me your word and back it up. Anyone can talk, I can't hear it anymore, and I've got one foot out the door. I'm at the end of the road, holding on with so much hope. Got to let go to survive. I'm not a cat, I don't have 9 lives. Oh, I'm sick and tired of waiting, wasting all my days, a prisoner in the fortress, lost within the maze. Oh, I'll pay the price with credit, 'cause it seems it's all I've got. Cashing in one last time, gonna give it one last shot. Give me your word and back it up. Anyone can talk, I can't hear it anymore, and I've got one foot out the door. Oh, 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 oh.
Yeah.
Very nice.
This next song is my pandemic song. I wrote it during the time out here in Portland where there was a lot of, stuff on the news that people just didn't know what to believe. I suppose that was everywhere. There was out here, the Black Lives Matter was huge. Every night there were huge protests downtown Portland. And we were going out on our decks or in our yards and taking pans every night at 7 o'clock and banging them for the essential workers and the nurses and doctors and whatnot. And this song came out of that time. It can be hard to get up in the morning when there is so much bad news. People divided and always fighting. There are no winners, we all just lose. So hang on to the love you feel. Stand strong for what is real. Keep your heart open wide. Let's all keep love alive. I'm feeling hopeful, things will get better. There's so much to unpack. Isn't the purpose of history recorded so we can learn from the past? So hang on to the love you feel. Stand strong for what is real. Keep your heart open wide. Let's all keep love alive. Are we addicted to the rise and the fall? Never satisfied, we want it all. And what would happen if we all chose love? Could we repair the damage done? Yeah. So hang on to the love you feel. Stand strong for what is real. Keep your heart open wide. Let's all keep love alive. Let's all keep love alive. Let's all keep love alive.
Whoa.
All right.
Melody, you wrote an anthem.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
So, Melody, what have you been up to since May 16th, the last time I saw you?
Oh, playing with, like I said, playing with my friends on the porch of my family, going to my river property, getting out of town, playing out there, just getting through this like everybody else, trying to stay healthy and happy and, safe.
Well, you're a wonderful performer. I love how you put everything into the song and all your pauses and your dynamics. And I'm taking notes. So
Yeah. I think deep down I'm more of a performer. I'm a songwriter too, but I definitely love the performing aspect of
you're
it.
everything. We can be it all, right? I mean, I love that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So how many guitars do you own?
I own two acoustics, an electric, but I got gifted that, and and a ukulele.
Excellent, excellent. Do you how often do you play the ukulele? Do you get together with ukulele jam?
Yeah, not often. I learned how to play it, and it was really fun for a little while. And then, and I have a lot of friends that play it, but I'm just so drawn to the guitar that I always go to pick that up more than the ukulele. So I can't say that I've played it very often. Actually, it gets a little neglected.
What is your next project? Your end of summer project going into fall?
I'm writing more songs. I've been writing things down, words down, and thoughts down, but I haven't put anything to music lately. I've also, the summer has been kind of busy with a lot of heavy things, and so a lot of my, I guess, mental energy has gone to those type of things, but I have, my mind is churning, and I know that there's songs, happening in my head that will eventually get on my guitar and out, but I don't have any big projects like in the works. Although I do have a desire to take the songs that I've written. I've never taken the songs I've written and recorded them and like brought them to a producer, and I think that would be super fun.
Yes, you need to do that before Christmas.
Yeah.
You got to do that.
That's a good goal.
It is a good goal, and you can do it. Well, Melody, it was great to see you again, and keep rocking, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the next couple months to get your goal of recording your songs.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Hey, Daphne.
Hey, and let us know when you do. That'll be wonderful. We can just hear you anytime. Oh, well, thank you, Melody. And now, after 8 opening acts, we have our very last performer of the evening, and that would be Karen Hart from Los Angeles. Karen, tell us where you play down there in Los Angeles. I don't know about any open mics in Los Angeles.
Well, I've been playing, all over the world since COVID. Duncal, songmakers.org. Art Grossman has one out of Massachusetts, Fiddler's Crossing out of Tehachapi. And Tim, that was interesting. I didn't know West Coast Songwriters had an open mic on Zoom. And I was the Songwriter of the Year for them a couple of years ago, so that's nice. I should try to find them again.
For you, forgive me though if I might have been unclear about that, because I think we haven't been meeting. I don't know exactly what's going on there. I'm sorry I wasn't clear.
Oh, okay. I'll forgive you this time.
Okay.
And I've been, I do a lot of volunteer work at the VA hospital. I just played a concert for them yesterday out in the Rose Garden for all of the veterans that are now living in their tents inside the grounds of the VA. So that was a really nice and very rewarding experience. And then since lockdown, I've been doing a concert series on my front lawn. It's on Sundays, and I live near Stoner Park, so it's called Stoner Sundays, and I have a lot of musicians to accompany me, and so that's been a lot of fun for all the neighborhood. And that's what I've been doing.
Great. So sing for us. Sing us
Okay.
out tonight.
All right. So I've been trying to decide this whole time what to play because one advantage of COVID is I've written constantly since COVID started. And what's lovely about these type of songwriter circles is that every time someone sings a song, it remind you of something else or something that you've written. And we've been talking a lot tonight about writing something from someone else's perspective, like how would I ever know what it would feel like with Black Lives Matters. But you know what? We're all walking wounded for one reason or another. And so I wrote this about Black Lives Matter, also about the Native Americans, and about the brown race in our country, the migrants, and in California we have a lot of the Hispanics. So I wrote this. It's a combination of all three. It's part in Spanish, part in English, and it's called So Azul. azul is the Spanish word for blue, and negro, as you know, is the Spanish word for black. So I have a line, negro y blue, black and blue, and the song is called So Azul. So azul, so azul, so azul, ooh. So azul, so azul, so azul, ooh. Negro y blue, mi corazón a tú. Negro y blue, when I feel you. So azul, so azul, so azul, ooh. So azul, so azul, so azul, ooh. So red, so brave, so many graves. We hold these truths so long abused. What do we stand for after we kneel? Who do we turn to when we feel so azul, so azul, so azul, so azul, so azul, so azul, ooh.
Exquisite song and exquisite vocal.
Oh, thank you. I haven't played that one for a lot of people because I just haven't, and I didn't really have it in my fingers, so there's my 10-second excuse for a 3-minute song. Another song that I was reminded of that I just wrote a couple of weeks ago, when someone was talking, I think it was Eldersinger, was talking about homeless, and we have a real homeless problem in our country and in our city, and it's such a complicated problem because it's like, do we leave them there? Do we make them go somewhere else? Where does it all start and where does it all end? And there's no simple answer, and I wish someone had one. But this is my song from, well, it'll explain itself. It's called Down in Memphis. I was born in Memphis, never had an address. The street lights and stars were my chandeliers in mansions made of boxes on a concrete mattress. And every scuffled footstep that came near, one more thing I learned to fear down in Memphis. I was raised in Memphis. Never wore a prom dress. Drank a toast that night to my high school days, wearing a tinfoil necklace that I made down in Memphis. I've gone right up to Graceland. But I've never gone inside. Oh, I died in Memphis. Wasn't buried in a nice dress. I just disappeared like I lived invisible in plain sight. I just slipped off silently into the night. Down in Memphis. Down in Memphis. Down in Memphis.
That's so powerful. Very powerful.
Wow, Karen, what a lot of soul and energy. My goodness.
Thank you.
So Karen, I saw your Back to Normal song played on your front porch, and I had so much fun watching it, especially the audience reaction. I'm so glad the camera person caught that, and it was amazing. And one of my favorite lines in that song was, "My mask hides the world from me." Can you tell us a little bit about how you got to that line? It's so beautiful.
Well, I'm so glad you brought up that song because when I play it live, I love watching people's reactions because all through the song, throughout different lines, they're going, yeah, yeah. So this is a song about, things are getting back to normal, and I'm not so sure that's where I'd like to be because normal wasn't so hot, Yeah. In LA, we have to drive, in just horrible, horrible traffic. And one of the great things about lockdown was my husband and I took a walk right down the middle of this highway at rush hour, and we just walked right down the middle of the street. It was so cool. And so the song is talking about all the things that were kind of cool about lockdown. And when I first wrote it, and I wrote, "My mask hides the world from me," everybody said, "Don't you mean that the other way around, that you're hiding from the world?" And no, really, because it's really both ways. But I'm behind that mask, so the world can't really see me. Nobody can come into my house anymore. There's a good reason that they can't, a good excuse for them not to come in, and I can just let the dishes pile up in the sink. And so that's how I came to that line.
Well, that was amazing, and I enjoyed watching. I mean, I watched it a couple times.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, if anybody wants to watch it, just on go on YouTube and type Karen Hart Back to Normal. It's a fun
Go to your
song, and I
website.
have the band with me, and some singers from the Angel City Chorale are singing backup with me. They were the chorale that was the finalists on America's Got Talent.
Oh, amazing. So I did my research and I found out you went to Cary 8 years ago.
Oh,
Which
yes.
yeah, which is just down the road from Raleigh. And do you have
Right.
any plans of returning to North Carolina?
Well, you know, I went to school at East Carolina University and got my degree in music, and I minored in happy hour. And the Carrie was kind enough to invite me to come feature me in all of my original music, backed by the Carrie Concert Singers and the Research Triangle Orchestra. So that was a lovely event. And I don't know, you know, I might, you never know. You never know what tomorrow brings, right?
That's right. Well, maybe I'll just have to invite you back to Cary or to North Carolina through the North Carolina Songwriters Co-op.
That would be great. I'd love that.
Yeah, it's wonderful to meet you. You talked a little bit about at the top with Daphne about what you're doing with the pandemic stuff or post-pandemic open mics and such. What are your current projects, recording projects?
Well, I'm currently recording my next CD called All Funked Up since 2020. And a lot of funk tunes. I'm working with a great producer who's the guitarist with Anika Acosta. And he's turned out some really nice tracks. And one of my songs is called Shut Up. And it was a funk song I wrote to a woman I had an altercation with who didn't want to wear her mask right at the beginning of lockdown. And the shut up was not what I was telling her. It was what I was telling myself. You know, it's like, shut up. I shouldn't say anything to her because no matter what you say, people have their answer, you know?
Right.
And they're always right. They're not looking for another point of view. They're just looking for a pat on the back to say, you're right. So that's what that song's about. And I'm playing Fiddler's Crossing. I've been involved in this open mic, and it's out of Tehachapi, and they've invited me on September 1st to play their first in-person live event. And so that's what I'm involved in right now. And then I just did something with the Los Angeles Jewish Symphony where I'm playing percussion, and I wrote a piece called Shake My Faith, and you can also see that on YouTube. And so I think they're going to do another project with me coming up.
So before COVID, were you pretty adept at technology? And tell us a little bit about that, since now you're doing a lot of videos and recordings and things of that nature.
I recorded all of my last album, 'Cause Life's Too Short, right here with this microphone and this interface. And it's really simple, you know. You get some software that'll allow you to put as many tracks on as you want. And, you know, as someone who's visually acclimated, I guess you can see the sound waves, and so it's much easier to edit, to just see, you know, where you want to cut something out or copy and paste something. So I guess to me it seems like really basic stuff, but maybe to someone else it may not be. I don't know.
And for your YouTube videos, are you doing all of those, or do you have a helper for making?
With the YouTube video, one with the Los Angeles Jewish Symphony, of course, they had a professional videographer and editor. And the Back to Normal that you saw on my Stoner Sundays, that's just whoever's got their iPhone up and recording it. And then some I do just sitting right here and then put them up on YouTube.
Yeah, we've all had to adjust the technology and get smarter. No matter that's just been part of it. So, well, wonderful getting to know you, Karen, and
Nice to
music.
meet you.
And I know, and
And nice to hear everyone.
yes, it was a wonderful evening. And back to Daphne.
Thanks, Alice. Well, what can I say? We've come to the end of a wonderful, wonderful evening, getting to hear you and getting to know you. So I want to thank everybody out there in YouTube land. I want to thank all the performers today. I want to thank TK for being at the switchboard and doing the sound. That makes it so easy and smooth. And Alice, welcome to the show as our interviewing co-host. It's wonderful to do this with you. Capo Dave Williams, founding father, for being here the whole time and putting this all together for us. Remember to check our website, openmicamerica.com, for links to the work of all these artists here. And we're going to be continuing first and third Sundays. The next one will be August 15th. MC will be Laura Bordowitz again. She's been on the show before. And Pete will be back from his vacation. He will be the interviewer on August 15th. So stay tuned for the next lineup. Go to the website. And now everyone's going to just keep on waving, and TK is going to turn off the live stream, and we're just going to keep waving until he gives